But by the time she enlightened or no?
Enlightened.
Before that, asking.
That was the last drop in the titration.
It's a good point actually. She was processing and
No, that was going on, but not wandering and searching, but staying there. But almost, when you do the titration, you know that the last drop, and then it transformed. And so she was already ready, but by the surrender of Buddha, she transformed. If he was countering her with another question, that would not have happened. He completely surrendered. No, I didn't know. Unfortunately, I didn't know it at the time.
husband
The
says
returning hope is a desire.
Hello, maybe spontaneous feeling. Spontaneous. When you think about Buddha, it must be a spontaneous thing. Just he felt going. He went.
we people follow that still. Husbands are following this. After many years.
Going and then coming back.
And saying yes.
So anyway, and so the എന്താണ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് അല്ല വിനോദിൻ്റെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ തന്നെ
ഇല്ലില്ല.
അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു so it is very very important to be an observer. We observe outside, but we never observe inside. So if we continue to observe inside, not by taking to get an answer, but just observation is just for observing, not for an answer. അതാണ് അതിൻ്റെ വ്യത്യാസം.
അല്ല ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചൊരു കാര്യം താൻ പറഞ്ഞു വന്നൊരു കാര്യം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ നമ്മൾ ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ മാത്രം ഒബ്സർവ് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കും. ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് എന്റെ കേസാണെങ്കിൽ മുമ്പ് അമ്മയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട എന്തെങ്കിലും ഞാൻ ഒബ്സർവ് ചെയ്യില്ല. അപ്പൊ അത് അറ്റാച്ച്മെന്റ് കിടക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ ശരിക്കും ഒബ്സർവ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ we have to observe the entire things in our life, whether the things which we like or pleasant and unpleasant, everything. That is the point, right?
അതന്നെ. പക്ഷേ ഈ രണ്ട് രീതിയിൽ you can approach observation in two ways. Maybe something, now I am talking and you are listening. So you are seeing, anyway observing me. You are seeing me. But the observation is not outside observation, but what it does inside you. So there is a part which is there moving inside you, and there is a part which is staying outside. Together, it makes the whole. So outside observation has a counterpart which is there inside. That is what it does inside you. So usually in transmission of knowledge, we feel that it is based on some kind of an experience. Experience, as we have seen, preceded by an action. That is experience. Action comes from the deeper area of thinking. And thinking comes from the memory. So when you are observing, normally we observe what is coming outside. At this moment, our evaluation program is highly alert and going on. Because what I am saying is like a language, and the meaning of every word and all the analysis and synthesis and all this intense program is going on to understand what I am saying. It's continuously going on. So every moment we are doing this analysis and synthesis. We are not aware of it, but we are doing this. And as a result of this, we are understanding what I am saying. But the question is whether you understand it in the same way I say, or you understand it on the basis of something which you have in your experience as a past content. So without the past content, we cannot understand. So that is why the analysis and synthesis program will be naturally on for everyone. But there is another possibility, that is that as soon as the analysis and synthesis starts, you may be able to look at that process. There is a possibility. As soon as the mind starts analyzing by calling information from some books or some people, or maybe from your own experience, you go on calling, and this process is on. As the process is on, certainly you are still in the analytical program. If you support that, you are already into this. Instead, when you are looking in what the mind is doing, when you are looking at it, you can see every small projection of the content to corroborate the present moment where something is going on. To analyze, find out something, it's going on. So that is the mind of a spiritual, like evolved person. He is immediately seeing that. So that is the moment, he is living the moment. That is one part, a possibility. We can live the moment, not recalling things from the past or taking knowledge from somewhere else, which is past, or remains of the past, and do that. That is normal function. At the same time, we are we are observing outside world also. So two programs are going on, and this is normal thing. And then the third program that you can do is you can observe what the mind is doing. Unless we do that, we will not see the process. So we will be into the process. So far we are into the process, we will not be able to get the distance. And when you get the distance, actually you have a little distance in the mind, means the process and you. There is a distance between the process and you. And then the silence increases. And then when you go on observing like this internally, then this modified system of operation, it cannot exist there. So it drops, and thereby what happens is calmness comes. In calmness, actually what one can do, preserve the calmness. And the tool is continue to observe the calmness. Before, continue to observe what the mind is doing. See, it is the next stage. The mind is really doing the process and you are observing this. Then comes an intermittent gap. Now you are observing the calmness which is there, where there is nothing. And when you enter into that empty space, what happens? The thoughts cannot jump into the emptiness because the thought is scared of the emptiness. It is very scared because if it enters into the emptiness, what happens is your mind is gone. So mind itself is very scared of entering into emptiness. That is why it goes on chattering something. It does this, so many things it does. Thereby the mind remains alive. So it is actually how the mind is surviving. In spirituality, we are working in that area. We are working to see that you can exist without the normal functions of the mind, at least a little time. When we do that, absolute calmness will come, and in the calmness, your perception will be very clear. Otherwise, the past will come and attach with that and interpret and make you understand this is a mic. It's not a mic. It is something. We put the name mic to it, so we feel we understood. Some of the uses, I get what we call magnifies the sound. That's all what we know about it. But this is how it is working. So the process of observation is outside observation basically, and then the inner observation is not analyzing. There is a process which is going on. You are observing that process. Analysis and synthesis. We can deepen the observation to the inner world. Then you understand, oh, this is what my mind is doing. And then it synthesizes some product, knowledge. And you remain with that. And then the the deeper observation is, you are not interested in this, what you call the process, which you have been seeing now. So the mind starts to become calm. And there is space between every thinking, every thought. And so your attention goes into the deepest area where there is actually no modification, there is gap. So the observer, which is the mind, it is watching the gap where there is nothing. When there is nothing, the mind cannot operate. The mind just drops. It's a surprise, and then the mind is not there. Once you experience that consciously, then you start to feel that this is something incredible. Otherwise, we are scared of that point, dropping everything and staying. This is the teaching of all great men. Drop everything, get in. So, by entering into the gap, you drop all the identity. You have no identity, you are free. And that is the final observation. So you lose the identity, but there is someone who is experiencing this. Deep inside, there is somebody who is experiencing this emptiness or whatever. And then you stay there, and then the experiencer mind, which is the point of the basic problem, and that experience mind just become different. And that is what teacher was trying to explain yesterday. Asamprajnata Samadhi. There is a rudimentary something is there, that is the I, and the I dissolves and get into the ultimate. You are not there as a separate entity. You are. What? You are the whole. And that is actually considered as a great thing. So when we are observing, we need to actually see. We start from the external world, we draw it, and then look at the process which the mind is doing. You see all the process which is going on. And then you are looking at between process what is there. You see that there is nothing happening. And then if you allow your mind to actually stay in that empty space, the mind cannot function there, and mind drops by itself. It is tricking the mind. The mind will never do it by itself. So it takes some ideas from outside to entertain and to become alive. It's a big, deep work. So the rational side, I was trying to remember the sutra which she was saying yesterday. So the rational process, the emotional process, everything settles, and finally entering into an emptiness. And the emptiness, you have the basic feeling that I am experiencing the emptiness. And you stay there, you cannot experience the emptiness. And then that idea, that is, the I is experiencing that. The I is interpreting that. And then when it is dropped, then freedom comes. This is considered as the highest point of your Samadhi. So it is. Anyway, we have done something. ഇതെല്ലാം ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ ഇതിപ്പോൾ? ഇതിനകത്ത് ഇവിടെയാണ് കാര്യം കിടക്കുന്നത്. In Sanskar Re-engineering, you put it back into the intellect. Otherwise, the samskar will just continue. So when it comes, you put it back into the intellect, re-evaluate it, and then you synthesize many things, and then based on the synthesis, you understand something, a better way for you, and that better way you apply in your actions, then it will slowly modify into a different samskar, a new samskar, which is a positive samskar. And so from negativity to positive samskar, we are advancing. And then there will come a time that you understand the positive samskar is also for what? And that will be dropped, and then you are freed. This is the spiritual transformation. Usually, so that is why it is a psycho-spiritual program, this one.